move on to the midfielders here on the Straight Red Card.
You want to do that in the next
Subscribe
segment?
if you haven't.
Yeah.
Huh?
So we doing that on the next segment?
Yeah, we're just going to keep rolling, and I'll split them up later.
Okay, that works.
Yeah. That's why I just did all that fancy shit with the Straight Red Card and subscribe and, oh, yeah, hit the like and all that other jazz. Do that stuff. Okay. Brett, take the gun off my head. Thank you. All right, here we go. Midfielders. Kellen Acosta. Okay, yeah. I expected it.
Yeah, I mean,
he will start.
I'm going to say yes in the sense, again, I wouldn't have expected him not to be on the roster. It's funny because I was not able to see the roster initially when it first came out, and you were going over the list, and I was actually shocked that it took so long to get to the point that Acosta was on the roster. I was like, did Berhalter not call him up?
Yeah.
That would have been a surprise. Oh, nope, there he is. Okay.
Yep, it's because they had him under Perry Acosta. So in the P's instead of the A's. So when I was going down, I was looking for him in the A's too, just like you, and he wasn't there.
I guess in the sense you need some form of experience in the midfield. You just can't go with an entire youth midfield.
Well, as Greg, I already told you in our prior show that he would be there and he would start.
So did I. As not Greg, but understanding what people
do. Yes, you did.
I did that sort of 50-50 that I normally do.
Yes.
Don't be 100% wrong. Jeez.
Cole Bassett. I'd like to see the Bassett Hound, but I don't think he's going to make the team. I don't have any problem making the 59, but
yeah, I'm saying the okay, sure.
Yeah. Gianluca Puccio. Yeah, of course.
Yes, of course.
He's going to make this team. He should have made the Olympic team.
Yep.
So good to see him. Johnny Cardoso, back at Internacional finally, off the bench and playing regularly again for Internacional in Brazil. A really good league, and he's back again. He had a really poor Olympics though, so I don't know.
Yeah, I have an okay, sure. I can see him on the roster, but I don't see him on the final roster.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to make it unless he comes back and he's really impressive, or if Greg thinks, I played him out of position.
Well, we're not pulling him we're not doing a pre-camp or pre-Gold Cup camp. So I mean, he's going to have to purely go off of what he's seen in the past and what he's seeing at the club level at this point.
I guess I meant if Greg's been watching his new International footage.
Sure he is, since he's included in the 59-man.
So it's good. And so he's back on again. Whereas, he had a bad Olympics. So we'll see. We'll see on that one.
I would like to see more of the kid. I just don't see him cracking the 23 in this roster.
Yeah, could be tough for him because Greg really doesn't like guys who have a lot of technical ability in the midfield. It's not just me saying that. Caden Clark.
You need box workhorse is what you need.
That's what he wants for his midfielders. Caden Clark, he'll make the team, yes. I think. I really do. And yes, hell yes, should be there. Goddamn, took too long. Should have been on the Olympic squad as well. Julian Flach, yes. He's kicking ass. Let's reward him for kicking ass upon arrival.
Yeah. He kicked Cardoso off, in my opinion.
Me too.
I have him scratched off. I had put Cardoso, and then I was like, nope, can't put him on there. There's Flach. Whoop.
I got to give Flach some credit for just basically telling St. Pauli, nah, fuck it. I want to play every game.
Yeah.
I'm going to the MLS. And that took a lot of balls, but it's paying off for him almost immediately. If he's not back in the Bundesliga in a couple seasons, I'd be shocked the way he's playing right now.
Mm-hmm.
Julian Green.
Yes.
Yes.
Assuming he can.
Would be nice.
I know this is one player that I had on the list, and you said, nope, not going to happen. You gave me the
It's not going to happen, Brett. It's not. It's not. People are saying, oh, well, he's a presumed starter, so he can. No, I mean, if Julian Green is smart, he's in the Bundesliga now. He needs, as the leader of that team, to be there for them through the whole preseason. Maybe you could get him in during the group stage, maybe, but you can't keep him through the whole rest of the month. I just don't think you can do it. And that way, there are only so many players you can have come in and then ship off. So I
wouldn't spend a spot on a 23-man roster for just the group stage, but I guess that only leaves like 2 games after that, maybe 3 or whatever it is.
Could be, yeah.
So
depending how early we
sacrifice a spot just to get through the group stage. Although the group stage is never the concern usually.
And his team wants him to rest before this Bundesliga starts. It was a long, battling grudge fest in to Bundesliga for Greuther Fürth. He needs a little bit of a break.
I'm going to say end of May or all of June. He was resting. I mean, yes, he played the Switzerland game, but he's had almost an entire month of rest leading into the Gold Cup. So my take is there'd be no reason to include Julian Green in this 59-man roster unless he plans to call him in, and unless Julian Green denies the call-up.
Because as far as I understand, Fürth has already called Gregg and said, we'd rather you not call him up. And that then becomes the player's prerogative because they can't stop Julian Green from going. It's a FIFA date. So if Julian Green really wants to go and wants to piss off his employer who pays his paycheck, and I guess he can go do that. But man, dude, you got a long season of battling against relegation coming up. I wouldn't risk getting hurt. I wouldn't risk your career. I wouldn't risk the manager getting pissed at you as you go into Bundesliga, and they're already looking for other attacking players to add to their roster because they know they're going to be playing in the Bundesliga. You're going to have competition next year for your starting spot.
Is there any reason why Gold Cup is done in July and not like in June? I know you don't necessarily pander your confederation's cup around the Euros, but why not incorporate it in June, and then you don't have that issue? But again, I know that that's more of an American problem and maybe a Canadian problem than it would be anybody else in CONCACAF. Maybe they just don't give a shit. But
yeah, that's what it comes down to basically. Or
would June conflict with the Mexican League? When's there a break between seasons?
It doesn't really. No.
So yeah, and that I'm going to stand firm. If I was the U.S., I would push to have it in June instead. That way, these clubs can't bitch about it, and you can call in who you want to call in.
We could have DREC call CONCACAF and see how far he gets on that.
Hopefully, he has better luck than USSF.
All right, Sebastian. Where the hell are we? Yeah, Sebastian Lletget. Not surprising. Have nothing against it, and he'll probably start.
Yep.
Georgi Mihailovic, your former guy from Chicago. I've seen what I need to see from him, so I'm a big meh on him. But he might make the team. It's possible.
No, he won't crack the team. He was not going to crack the 23. There's just too many players ahead of him in this sits. He has a lot of talent, but he ghosts out there, and he's not talented enough to ghost.
Yeah.
So he's creative. But he needs it. He needs to keep developing. He's just not going to crack this squad.
Yeah, probably not. But you never know.
It's always possible.
Moses Neiman. I'm not sure. I've watched him play numerous times with DC United. I think he's an impressive young kid, and I'm glad he's on this list. But I don't think he'll make the 23.
Mm-hmm.
Andreas Pereira, Orlando City. Meh. It's all right with it. I mean, he was okay in the Olympics. Didn't get to play that much. I think he's just on this list. He's not cracking the 23.
I think he was on par with Cardoso in the Olympics, so I don't think he's cracking the 23.
Yep. Paxton Pomykal. I mean, it's nice to see his name on the list, but he can't even get a start yet with Dallas because they're still worried about his fitness.
And unfortunately, there's too many other young midfielders options that are just filling up the spots. So Unfortunately,
and
no, I don't see
players
it on there.
and players that Greg loves.
Yes. Well, yeah. I mean, I left off the Greg Love players because those were going to be there regardless.
Yes.
We're only talking about a couple of spots, 3 spots at most.
And people rave about Paxton Pomykal, but guys, call me after he's played a full season without limping around or being in a cast or having a surgery. Okay. I love him too, but
we've asked about him multiple times. But again, he's been injured.
Yep.
So
Pete and Tack will love this guy. They love him, but guys got to play some soccer for a while in a row, a stretch without getting injured. That's all I'm saying. And this is why people are like, "Why isn't he in Germany yet?" Well, because look at his injury details. He's a moving ambulance. That's why people don't go after and try to sign players who are hurt every single year they play. It just doesn't happen. That's how it works. That's why Fabian Johnson doesn't have a team. He's been without a team for almost 2 seasons now. He doesn't have a team because he barely plays when he does have a team. That's why. All right, that's how this works, folks. Memo Rodriguez, Houston Dynamo. He's now making 23. Christian Roldan. Yes, he's going to make the team. He might even play a lot because he's one of Gregg's guys.
He is one of Gregg's guys, but I do not have him on my team. This is probably me just looking past him at this point.
Yeah, this is a big meh for me when I read it. Big meh. Again,
I'm looking at the possible 6 that they would include for the midfield, and as far as Berhalter's favorites, and the only person I could see him swapping out would be with Green, and that's if Green goes the route that you had talked about previously, then yes, I see Roldan getting pushed in.
Yeah.
But it just depends on what happens to Green. Come on, Green. No whammy, stop.
It's nothing against Seattle. I'm just saying I've seen what he can do.
I've seen what he can do, yes.
I know who you are, Christian Roldan. I know who you are.
We're going to bring him up here in just a second, but I would rather see Tessman over Roldan.
Yep, exactly. We can just do Tessman now. Yes, I want to see him. I want to see him play. I like what I saw in the Olympics from him. And
January camp, right?
I like what I've seen from him at Dallas. I like it.
He was in the January camp, wasn't he?
Yep.
Yeah, I liked him there too. Came in, completely altered the game there with him.
I've heard people say he's like technically limited. I don't know. I've just seen him get better and better and better and better every game. So maybe he has a higher ceiling than a lot of people think. Mm-hmm. And he can be a destroyer too, if necessary. Hassani Dotson, meh. All right, fine.
He's in the in between state for me. That meh and okay, sure. I mean, he had some ups during the Olympics, but had some downs too.
Yeah, I'm not overwhelmed by what I've seen from him. But okay, it's the BC team, but I don't think he's making this 23.
January camp's his next hope.
Yeah, here's a guy that may crack it now because there's a lot of pressure on Gregg, and that's Eric Williamson, who's had a really good half season or quarter season with Portland. I like what I've seen, though. I have to admit, I watched a little Eric Williamson today just to make sure I was up to date. Yes, I think he might have some potential. He's kind of creative. He can break through the lanes with passes. He's had a good season. There's no doubt. He's not a defensive liability, so I see him actually making this 23.
See, for me, that would have to you'd have to take the place of one of Berhalter's favorites, because again, there's just other young midfielders that I want to see.
Yeah, I get it. And then you got the favorites: Kellen Acosta, Sebastian Lletget, Jackson Ewell, Christian Roldan. So you're leaving fewer and fewer spots.
And I don't have Ewell on my 23 either.
Oh well, he's making the team, Brett. I hate to tell you.
I have Flach taking Ewell's spot. Because again, I can't imagine. I mean, we've seen enough of Ewell and Acosta that we don't necessarily need both on the squad.
All right. Well, we're going to have a segment about reality down the road, and I'm just telling you that's not happening. Ewell's making this
calm down.
Ewell's making this Gregg team, and Gregg is saying that's how it's going to happen. But I'd like to see some of the
Great.
players you mentioned. I would like to see Leon Flach, but he's completely unproven as a U.S. men's national team player. And we're going to the Gold Cup, and by all ends and means, Gregg wants to win this. He wants to win it. So he's going to take whoever he's most comfortable with, who he thinks is going to help him win it, because he don't want to take a bunch of unpredictable motherfuckers, right? You take a bunch of guys you're not really sure about, you're going in there with quite puckered. You go in there with Roldan and Yule and Leggett and
Yes, we're
Acosta.
guaranteed a semifinal loss. I agree.
Yeah, but you can unpucker. You know, you're not going out in the group stage.
We're not going out the group stage. Even if we left all of Berhalter's favorites out, I don't see us going out in the group stage either.
Yeah, probably not.
No. The concern is going to be what's going to happen when we face the semifinals and the finals. That's what's going to end up happening. And
yeah,
quite frankly, again, this is breaking off into the next conversation. But let's continue with. We're at Yule. You say yes. I say okay, sure.
I don't say yes. I say.
You say yes for Berhalter.
I say okay. That's how I say that one. That's a all right.
So these two segments are your opportunity to say how you feel. Then we'll talk what you think is Berhalter. Huh?
Yeah. All right.
Derek had us say, let's put him down, and let's bring Berhalter back.